Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday.
Hey.
Welcome to episode 10. I can't believe this is episode 10 of the Original
Wow.
Blueprint podcast. I know.
10.
I know. See, last week, you guys got the pleasure of having us together. I'm back home,
Oh my God.
unfortunately. I can't believe it's been a week already since I came out there. All I know is I came out there, came home with a new look. Tangenique did my hair for me, and I am obsessed, obsessed, obsessed.
Great.
So if you ever need your hair done, she's in Texas. You're going to have to either go visit her or fly her out to do your hair because she is just fucking phenomenal. Like phenomenal. Like
Thank
I've never felt hotter, to be honest with you. Like I'm loving it. I love it.
It looks good on you though. Go
Oh,
girl.
thank you. I love it. So tonight we are going to be talking about showing up as the main character and like what that actually looks like. Oh wait, where'd you go, girl? There you are. Okay. You
Okay.
booped out for a second. We're going to talk about showing up as the main character, what that even looks like, and if you're not sure how we decided to show up and be the main character in our story, because really, I know for a long time I was not the main character.
No.
I was a backup dancer. I was doing I was everybody else's I was an extra in my own movie.
Yeah.
Like this is literally your own movie, and I'm sitting here being like the sideshow. And what was I even doing? I don't know. And I remember one day I was literally walking, and I heard I was walking, and I'm like, huh, am I the main character? Am I supposed to be?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, wait a minute. Is this like a movie? And then from there I started just looking at life differently, because I'm like, this is my reality. And I'm not even participating.
Right.
I wasn't even participating. So did you where were you when you realized that you had to show up as like the main character? What were you up to? Because I really this is like a huge thing, because if I know there's going to be people that listen to this that are going to be like, wait, I am the main character in my story.
Right.
Like I don't think a lot of people, I don't even think they know. I don't.
Oh, I thought I was the main character, but I didn't. But okay. So if I look back, I was the main character, but I did not feel like I was the main character. Does that make sense? Like I was just everybody's co-star.
Right.
Everybody's. And it's just now like recently that I really found out that I was the main character, like in the movie. And it's like, because I was always like, oh, we're in this together type person, which that's how I am. At the same time, it's like, okay, well, where's your part?
Mm-hmm.
Are you always gonna go ahead and be like the anchor or the co-pilot all the time? Or are you gonna be like in the driver's seat? Are you gonna be the pilot? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna direct and steer? Are you gonna be the captain of the ship at any moment in time?
I love that.
And I don't know. It's like something happened where it's like an epiphany, like you said, like it just came to me like, wait, hold on. And then when that happened, then everything around me started to change. It was like I don't want to be on the passenger side of my best friend's ride.
Literally. Like
I was like, I gotta drive. No. Mm-mm. It was recently though. That's sad to say. And I'm sorry, I gotta be real with it. It was recently.
Like really, mine was only like, I'm telling you, I remember it so clearly. So clearly, because when I go walking, that's when I have like my
Clarity,
epiphanies of like, oh wait, what are you doing in life? Like,
right.
Who are you?
Yeah.
And I remember I was walking and I was like, I think I'm supposed to play the lead in this movie of life. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And I wasn't. I was doing everything but that. And then it occurred to me, I was like, you know what? If I'm not being the main character, who is? It wasn't even me.
Right.
I was like not doing anything. Like I was doing things, right? But I wasn't being. And then
that's what it is right there.
Yeah. And then I remember thinking to myself, like, if I was playing a video game and I had a remote, like a controller, would I be player one? And I was like, you're not playing as player one. And then I was like, all right, now's the time for me to be like step into who I am. But I didn't really know what that meant either. I didn't know what any of this stuff really meant until like now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, I do. You just not hear the epiphany from me. And that's why I love it. I'm so irritated. Okay.
Said,
so, yeah, because that's why I love when we share, because it literally, like that TikTok I was watching with the girl that you just sent me a little while ago. She was just saying, like, you know, we're not really here to save anybody else. We're just here to save ourselves because we are others.
Yes.
So my thing is, if you're always out there trying to save somebody else, but you leave you behind, then that's like, not
what you really do.
That's not wholeness. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I look at now. Like, dang, you really put yourself, you know, you put yourself on the back burner, not really knowing what I was doing. But anytime you are outsourcing, anytime you are, you know, just looking at yourself as outside of yourself or whatever, trying to find yourself outside of yourself, you're not being the main character. You know what I mean? And so I listened to that. Let me see. It was last year sometime. I was listening to those Hertz. I don't know what number it was, like 4 something Hertz on YouTube. And I was just like meditating until I fell asleep. And then I just jumped up and I heard, stop outsourcing. No more outsourcing. And then I was like, oh, I'm scared. Like, what? And then I was like, okay, what is outsourcing? I don't talk like that, like outsourcing. Like, no, I don't say that kind of stuff, you know, on a regular basis. And then I listened to another one, and it was like the same night, and it said, you are not even your name. Like, huh? You know what I mean? And then so as I went along through the whole journey of being on Clubhouse and stuff, and being in the communities that we were in and stuff like that, it started getting revealed to me what that was meaning and what that was saying to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so what triggered me just now is that when you just said, are you player 1 or 2 in the video game, is like the dream I had, I told you about many times about like the person that was really controlling the game was showing me that I was as the player inside hitting the brick wall over and over. So now when you said that, I'm like, okay, I wasn't player 1.
Nope.
Because in order for me to be player 1, I have to go attached to the one that has the controller.
Yeah.
I'm just like an extra in the damn video game the whole time. Like, what? Wow. That was a really rude awakening for me. Because even now sitting here saying it, I'm just like, whoa. A lot of things come to me in my dreams. Like, I'll see myself as the main character. Now I look back on it and then wake up like that, like in doubt. Like, okay, no, that's not me. No, I'm not worthy. No, you know, all that kind of stuff. And now, because I guess the more I'm that's being revealed or whatever, I'm seeing like how I am the main character.
Yep.
In my own movie.
In your own movie.
It's really deep. It's deep. You know? I mean, just little stuff like going within yourself to even take a minute to look at how you would, okay, like say you handle a situation one way, right? But then now it's like, okay, I pause, I think about it, and it might take a split second, but then now I'm redirecting how I would usually handle it. You know what I mean? And that's like the observation is really what's happening inside of you. As opposed to you being outside of yourself and never even having that option.
Right. You know what I mean? Reactive.
Yeah.
Versus responding.
Yeah. Like the norm of the outside world or perimeter of yourself is suspecting you to do.
Right. Yeah.
It's deep. I mean, it's a whole different arena. It's a whole different arena.
I mean, when I really think about it, like when I really sit on it, I can't believe that I went all these years being the side chick in my own film. Like really. Like
Mhm.
from it, and it really started like when I had Elise.
Yeah.
Like that's, but really before that, probably. It really was probably before that. I think it was probably like I never was doing it for me. I was
Yeah.
always trying to, oh, I want this dude to like me, or oh, I want to do whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I got pregnant with Elise, and then I was still trying to like get outside, like I was looking outside of me for validation, for love,
Yep.
for all this stuff. So I wasn't the main character for most of my life.
Yeah.
And then once, I'm telling you, last year, I was like, geez, like you're supposed to be playing the role of the like you're the person. And I was
Mhm.
like, holy shit.
Right.
Here I am. Like if I was in a video game, I'm just like the guy like in the castle, like waving at Mario. Like, what am I doing? Like
Uh-huh.
I'm not even
Mhm.
like running through the game.
Nope.
And then when I started looking at life like that, I was like, all right, what do I have to do to be the main person? And I'm
Right.
like, and that's really like where it kicked in for me, that I had to start doing like the personal development.
Right.
I started 75 Hard and like doing all the inner work that went
Mhm.
along with even like the exercise and stuff for me. See, that whole thing for me was so huge because I had never kept a promise to myself,
Right.
ever.
That's what I'm
Never.
saying.
Not
Yeah.
even one time. Not even once.
See?
So when I did that, that like changed everything.
Right.
And the other funny thing that I think about every time I think about being the main character is that, well, two things. Well, one, just like how we know that we're the main character, but
Mhm.
we also support each other,
Right.
not to the detriment of ourselves, though.
No.
Like we have our own lives, but we
Mhm.
also support each other. But this is like your story and my story,
Yes.
So that's one thing I always think about. But the other piece is like your higher self, right?
Mhm.
So what piece does your higher self play in this, right? So I think about that there's a table, and I know I've probably said this before on here, that
Mhm.
there's like a table in like the astral, and all our higher selves are sitting there,
Right.
like discussing, like coffee talk, right?
Mhm.
And literally giving direction to us here,
Mhm.
telling us how to move, stick and move, do this, do
Right.
this. And it's so funny to me because
Mhm.
I'm like, here I thought I was like alone.
That part. Wow.
But then when I look at it, I know that my higher self was guiding me the whole time, even though
Mhm.
it was under my awareness.
Mhm.
I
Mm.
had no idea a higher self was a thing. So it wasn't that I wasn't even aware. So now I'm like, you are never even alone. This was like
No.
the whole time you had guidance, but it was you guiding you,
Yep.
unbeknownst to you.
Mhm.
I had no idea. And then even like showing up for myself every day. Because I know that's not an easy thing. Now to me, it's
Yeah.
easy because I do it. And because I can't imagine my life not doing that. Like I wasted so many years not showing up for myself. I can never do that again. But I know that now it irritates the fuck out of people
Mhm.
when you
Mhm.
show up as the main character. But really, who else are you supposed to be?
Yeah.
Who
That's
are you
true.
supposed to be? But I think that also it bothers people because they don't realize that they are also,
Right. That
that
part.
everybody's the main character. So they
Right.
get jealous or they're
And that's
throwing
not that shouldn't be the
undercover
case.
shade,
You
you
you can
know?
never be you can never really be the main character in nobody else's movie.
Mm-mm.
So so what
Nor
are
should
people
you even want to be.
yeah. So what are people getting mad for? My thing is, if you know your place, like I know that I am a co-star in your movie.
Right.
And you are a co-star. You know what I'm saying? But I am the main character in my movie. But the fact is, people don't know that they even have a movie. Just like we didn't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? People still don't know that, but they're so busy trying to run around and make you, you know, their co-stars in the thing. And it's like you already are. Like it's not even a competition, like at all. But it all goes with the territory because I think that I really wouldn't take back anything I went through because I think that it's just for like right now, like it's you know what I mean, it's to help
literally
or just be able to like express it to somebody else so they can be like, oh, okay, and it might not even be the same situation. It might just be like, oh, they're going through something else, but it's still like, okay, I can do that too, you know, like I am, you know, and so it's not even it's like, I mean, I know it seems like effortless, but it's really something that you have to really work with. And like that, it's a TikTok this lady I sent to you or whatever. She's just talking about, you know, healing and all that kind of stuff is not pretty.
It's ugly.
It's not. Sometimes it's ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's very ugly.
It's kind of hideous. Like you are having like things that come up that hit you hard. Like today, I was like hit out of nowhere, and I just cannot stand it when that happens to me. I felt like I was going on such a great ride. Like I was just in there. I was coasting along. And then all of a sudden, just this whole little thing, but it really was just showing me how full circle I really have come.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like this whole thing with the queen passing and all that kind of stuff. And this is like anniversary to the 9/11. They keep running that narrative.
Yep.
And then that's my birthday too, 9/11. And so, but I don't even like for so long I didn't even celebrate that like that after that happened. I just was like, man, people lost their lives, you know what I'm saying? So I just kind of like was like, okay.
Right.
Really
I get that.
Hurt or whatever about it. But I alchemized that and I really like kind of persevered through that whole feeling. And then but I noticed that every year, actually, you know what? I have subsided with the feelings of that, but this year it was like strong. Like today, and I didn't even know what happened, but with the queen thing until somebody told me, I think you told me or something like that. But I felt so deeply, I don't know, I felt like I couldn't even like sleep, I couldn't rest, I couldn't like sit like for a long amount of time. It was just like crazy. Like this whole energy like went through my body. And I'm like, what is this about? Like, okay. But then I'm like, okay, you know, you are, like you said, you are the main character. So when I really sat with it, and after I talked to you, I was able to like it came out what it was. And it really was that it was full circle to my evolution. Like I really have come a long way as far as what I've dealt with, how I've dealt with, how I've navigated through it. Being on Clubhouse for a year and a half, like really just like having something that I was doing that I actually completed, you know what I mean? And then it's still connected as something I'm still doing.
Yes.
It gave me my voice, it gave me my position, it gave me more of what my purpose is and stuff like that. And that I don't have to hold on to anything that I've been through as something that plagues me. It's more of something that is catapults me into my forward motion and being able to like maybe help people along the way or whatever. Because it's really all about the fact that, you know, you can do it too. Because we need to know, like you said, we need to know that we are our own main character.
Yeah.
We don't need to be trying to recruit people to be in a movie where they can't have their leading role. Have your leading role.
And that's the biggest thing, I think, is that I think it's the fact that a lot of people don't even know there is a leading role to be had.
Right.
And I get it because that, like, we were there. But once you know that, you can't operate any differently.
Mm-mm.
So, like, even if you're listening to this and you're like, what are these two talking about? Like, everybody, every single person is the main character in their life. Like, it's you. It's only, you are the only person you're with all the time.
Right.
Nobody else.
It's so true.
Like, you might live with your family. You may have birthed some children.
Mm-hmm.
The most important relationship you will ever have is with yourself. You can't get away from you. You can't get away. You're always with you. Like, you don't have a choice.
No. And I can't even deal with the whole, like, what we talked about earlier. You don't even die. Like the whole spiritual thing of it. Like, okay, you know, you just can't get away.
You can't. It's just you.
Nowhere to
it's
run
literally forever, ever, ever. It's you. It's always you. So if you're sitting there and you're constantly, you know what I think about this I think about all the time. How many people go through their life, they never become the main character. And like, I always think of that hero's journey thing that we saw. So it's like, I'll look it up as we're talking, but it's literally talking about how every single person is their character in their story. Like our lives are a story. We are literally projected here. Like, I know that everybody's probably like, oh, whatever. No, this isn't even like real. This is an outward picturing of what's going on in another realm. Like, think Avatar, except backwards. Like, literally. Like, we are the blue, like the blue people. We are the blue people. This here on Earth is just our avatars here. But we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And like, I know that's so off the wall for some people to get, but it's just a truth. It's not, I'm not making it up. Like, this is just what I know to be true. And for a long time, I had no idea I was even that. So as you go along and you realize that you have your own hero's journey. I'm going to look it up. That you have your own path, that you have your own story that is supposed to play out for you, that you have your own, like God has your own divine path that you're supposed to be taking.
Right.
And no one even knows until you're like, wait, I know for me, it was, do I have a purpose here? Like, what am I here for? This can't be all it is. It can't be me making chicken nuggets every day and cleaning up like crap on the floor. Like, this can't be it.
Yeah.
Vacuuming every day, like wiping down counters, like, not Cinderella. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
But then when I saw this hero's journey thing, I found it. Here it is. Basically says like this. So you start off on your journey. You get the call, right? This is what it says on here. You get the call. Then you start getting supernatural aid. Then you meet your mentor. There's a threshold. Then a descent. Then you go through like trials and tribulations. And then things get better and you're on the upswing. And then you go through it again. And it's just a different scenario. And it's just, it's like a call to adventure, it says.
Wow.
And then threshold, challenges and temptations. Then you go through, it says here, abyss, rebirth and death. And that's death and rebirth. And that's literally, if you think about every part of your journey so far, a part of you has had to die.
Yeah.
And then be reborn to get to the next piece. And then it says transformation, atonement, and return. Call to adventure, supernatural aid. And it's just a site, and you go through it as ever many times as you need to. But I think the key is that if you don't know you're on a journey and you're not trying to do any forward motion or do anything, if you're just going through the motions to survive,
you
don't know that you have a whole adventure in front of you. Like I'm like my life's like an adventure now. I'm not looking at
it's like
it
an
like
adventure now.
yeah, because now you got like
It's-
you're like what's next? Like
It's
what are we
different.
doing next? You know?
And you even take on the stuff differently. Like even if it
Oh
is
my
some
God,
of the
yeah.
same stuff that has gone on, you perceive it differently. Like
Yes.
because like when I first heard that right there, I was like hella mad. I was like, oh, you mean to tell me this is a thing? Like for
Like
real?
how dare you?
Like you're telling me that, and then you just wake, and then you just, and the next thing you do is, I'm like, huh? But now it's like, first of all, I feel like you have to go within to even get that information right there. And even
Oh
if
my
it's a slap in
God,
the face,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
And then, like me right now, as opposed to, I don't know, when you first found that was like months, was that months ago? Like,
God, that was like
it was on a whole hype
probably
about
like
that.
9 months ago. That was yeah.
Girl, ain't no telling what time. Just anyway,
Whatever
it
that
was a while ago, right? And so, but I'm talking about from then now, how I see it when you just read it. I just see it like, wow, yep. I'm like, yeah, that's it, that's how it goes. And it's like a no brainer. It's like, yeah, that's really what it is. And then like the whole like death and rebirth.
Mhm.
I feel like, even though I talk about my past or things that happened to me in my life, it's not the same way how I'm talking about it. It's
No.
not the same way like it's affecting me right now. It's like damn, that was deep, and dang, you persevered through that. Like
Yep.
whoa, like it's like I'm looking back on it like dang, you here right now, and you went through that. Like really, it's
Mhm.
almost like it's a separate thing that happened, and
A
then
non-existent.
non-existent, like not even nothing that I could feel or have any type of real feeling about it.
Right.
But I just
Yep.
know that it happened. So I'm like, okay. And I'm looking at it like, dang, that almost like that character went through that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Like how?
Like, dang, But it's like I'm a separate character. I'm separate from that. Like that's a character.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
It's just different. It's different now. To me.
But even the whole thing with like who we were yesterday, right, is not even who we are today.
Mm-mm.
And if the only time is right now, which I think that was like that was a big thing. That is just one of the biggest things that I've learned so far. And I know a lot of people, and it was myself included, I was living either in the past or I was living in the future. But I was like, I'm not even being present
It's
here.
so hard. It was so hard.
But it like never even occurred to me to do that. And I was like, sheesh, like that's crazy. Like here I am worrying about something that happened 20 years ago. Like with my felony, I constantly thought about that and beat myself up. But that happened, it didn't even exist. It doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-mm.
And then I was like, wait, I can pick whatever character I want to be on top of all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be Melissa with the felony.
Right.
I can be Melissa, whoever I want to be. Now I can be like, oh, I'm Melissa, who's a 2-time best-selling author. Oh, I'm Melissa that's hosts a podcast with my bestie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm Melissa that's doing da-da-da.
Right.
But I could make it up that tomorrow I want to be something totally different and just go do that. Like, oh, I want to be an artist. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow I'll be an artist. Like I could do it. You could do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want. You really can.
That's the part that like I really, for people, like my wish for people, just in general, is that they know that they can make whatever they want out of their lives. Like it doesn't matter how old you are.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't matter if you got arrested, if you have a felony, if you got, unwed pregnancy, any of that shit.
Mm-mm.
All the things. It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
You can just today be like, you know what? I really feel like being the best version of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then just do that. Whatever that looks like for you. For me, it looked like going within and really accepting who I was, like the ugliest pieces of me.
Mm-hmm.
And that allowed me to, once you love all of you, that's when the unfolding, I feel like, really starts.
Yeah, it frees up space.
You know? Oh my God, yeah. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like taking the trash out.
Yeah.
So that you can have like good things poured into you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's you pouring it into yourself though. Like no one can do this stuff for you. Like anything that we talk about on this podcast, this shit, you don't hear a lot of people talking about this stuff because a lot of people won't do it.
I mean,
they won't do it because it takes a lot of work. And it's not, and like we said, like, this has been a big thing lately that we've been talking about too, is it's not heavy lifting. It's not hammer and nails. It's energetic clearing work. It's energy. It's using your energy to transmute the darkness and the bullshit
literally
into the light. And like, it never even occurred to me that's what we were doing until the other day where I was really like, I might not be like exerting like physical strength or anything, or going to a job and driving my car somewhere. But the shit that we're doing is energetically draining.
It really is.
And you don't even know because you're just doing, like, for me, this is just what I love. Like being on the podcast, going on Clubhouse, reading, talking, discussing thoughts. Like it helps people heal. And even if somebody just comes in the room for 5 minutes, you don't know what they're getting, but you know that you're raising the vibration by helping yourself.
Yeah.
Like my new thing lately is let me help you help yourself.
Yeah.
Like I want to help you help yourself because I had to help myself and I did. And now I want to help people help themselves because really no one can do this for you. Nobody.
That's the thing too. That's really the thing. Coming to grips with that too, because I mean, because sometimes I fall into the whole thing like, and it's so funny now because now it's like more of a like redirecting my thoughts because it's like, okay, so if I'm asked to do something in a spiritual level, whatever, and then I'm like, okay, I'm immediately looking outside for somebody to be like, oh, but there's nobody.
No.
And it's not, there's no
SOS.
Yeah, you can only do it.
Yep, that's it.
And SOS, thanks for bringing that up, is source of supply. That's who's gonna help you. So, you know what I'm saying? That is just that's it. And that's all though. That's really all that you need. Because let me tell you something. SOS comes in the form of the people that you might need.
The people you need.
Whatever you might need.
Yep.
It shapeshifts. It forms in however you need it to come into. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to, you're not the one who is going out looking for oh yeah, I pick you to do it and you help me. No.
Right. No. People are gonna get sent to you.
Right. You make your commands known or whatever, you make your thing known within yourself energetically. And you have to know that it's going to come to pass, and it will come in a form that you probably are not even expecting it. So if you blink, you might
miss it. Yep.
Look, you know how you like sometimes. Okay, you might want it from a spouse, you might want it from your children, you might want it for but they might send it. It might be sent in something else, but you're missing the boat because you're like, oh, this person, and you're still. On this person, you're still on your spouse, you're still on your kids for not being what you really want them to be or what you expect them to be. But it's like, I sent you your sister, I sent you this man that's walked up down the street. I just sent you,
and you weren't paying attention.
And you were not paying attention. You just received it not.
Yep. Well, how many people? I mean, I could think of a gaggle of people in my life personally that I know I came through to help you. And because I didn't look like what you thought it was going to look like. You were like, meh. Okay, bye. Sayonara. And that's the end of it. And now, like, the fact that I'm even strong enough and brave enough to do that now, like, it used to be like I would hold on for dear life, like, please let me be the person to help you. I want to help you. I. It's not about me. I have to help myself. I can't worry, and people think that shit is cold when you say that. But if you don't help yourself, you can't help anybody else.
No.
You cannot help other people if you're not helping yourself first. And like I said, people think that's cold and selfish. Like, please, I hear it all the time. Oh, that's so selfish of you. If me picking me first is selfish, I'll be that. Because I have to work on me so I can help other people. Like, if I was still showing up for everybody else but not me, I wouldn't be sitting here on this podcast with you. But it's because I did the work and was able to now, like, the fact that I could do it, I want people to know that they can do it, and that you don't have to wait. That's the other that I've wanted.
Oh my God, you're hitting so many. I'm just like,
because this has just been on my. It's been on like my mind.
I'm so agitated right now. I'm sorry.
You don't have to wait to look or be a certain way to do these things either. A lot of people want it to look perfect, or you got to show up a certain way, or you have to have a certain amount of money, or you got to be at a certain level, or you got to all these things that,
oh my God,
you could just do it today. Who's telling you can't besides you? Like, we really sat and thought about it too long. Like, if we really were like, well, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't do the podcast. Like,
no, because like last week, who was tired as hell last week, and I was looking back, I was like, damn, who was tired?
So tired. Oh my God, exhausted.
I was like, I know you was jet lagged and everything, but it was like we still just did it, like whatever, like.
Yeah, like you don't, and it was perfect. And I think that's, I'm still laughing. I was thinking about this all day. The same way that I heard on Twitter the other day that people are like, that really sit and they like edit their podcast and stuff. And I'm like, where they do that? I need to know, because see, this is just live.
It is raw and uncut. I mean,
like, it never even occurred to me to want to edit what we're talking about, because this is like straight from the head. Like, this is not like scripted. This is not, oh gosh, what are we going to say? Can you write that down for me, ma'am? None of that. So when I heard that people do that, I was like, wow, like what we do is special. What we do is special, and you don't have to. And even if you wanted to start a podcast, anybody listening to this, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a red carpet affair. No. Like, we're two regular people, but because we're coming the way we are, we're being honest, we're being open, we're being vulnerable. We're talking about shit that broke us in our life, but because we didn't give up, it allowed us to keep going. And with all the things that have even happened, like, we could have easily tapped out and been like, oh my God, like, this is fucking miserable. But we're like, you know what? I'm not going to use that, because I even put up a post yesterday. Stop using your adversity as an excuse. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's doable. You just can't stop. You can't keep letting things that are shitty stop you, because if you really want something, like if you really want it, you're just going to do it. Just like the podcast, like we wanted to do this. This is important to us. Like, so we just do it, period.
Yeah, and it definitely is, for me, it was a hurdle.
Yes.
I have to go ahead and jump over. For me, how I look at it is that, do you know how long it took me to even get to a point where I would be wanting to be on some type of recording I do not like my voice. I mean, I love myself, but I'm saying like even like this is so crazy what I'm about to say, but like if I call to pay a bill,
Mhm.
I feel like my voice is so like sometimes like deep, or
Oh
whatever.
my
I'm saying
God.
that to other people,
No
but
way.
people
Your
are
voice is
saying like,
awesome.
yes, yes, sir, Mr. King. I'm like, oh my God. And me and my sister, we sound so much alike. So we always like hated our voice or whatever. But
I love it.
but I'm just saying it's like certain things like that. Like I'll be thinking, no, I'm not getting on anything like that because I don't like my voice or just all these things. But do you know how freeing it is just to be yourself? Like I am
Oh
just
my God.
totally able to just be me right here in this moment.
Yep.
And I just want to give tribute to like the Clubhouse and everything because that really
Yeah.
helped with that. But
Oh,
we
God.
don't get a chance to see ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're talking on the app, but we're not seeing each other visibly.
Right.
But now we went a step further to go ahead and put our faces out there. You know what I mean? So it's like, man.
But even on Clubhouse, like when we were first on there though, we were quiet. Like we would talk, but what we would do more like after we got off Clubhouse, then we would get on the phone.
Yep.
And I was like, why are we not talking like this in the room? And then as we got more comfortable, I remember just being like, fuck it. Like, I know the shit that I say is off the wall.
Right.
You're either going to resonate with it or you're not. And that's even like with the podcast, what we're talking about now. Like, people may hear this and go, I don't know what these girls are talking about. And that's okay. Or somebody might hear it and go, oh my God, these girls are amazing. And that's okay. However it resonates for you, it's not going to be for everybody.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing about stepping into the main character.
Right.
That you don't give a shit either way.
Yeah.
You're either going to like it or you don't.
You don't even think about that no more. You don't even be like, oh, somebody.
No.
You don't even be like reserved to be like, oh, somebody going to like me. Or, you don't even ask outside of yourself about the shit. You don't.
A lot of times I'm like hoping, not that I'm hoping, but a lot of times I'm like, I kind of don't want you to like me. Like, I kind of, because I know it's scary. Like, if I'm really me, real and raw, it's going to scare away the people who are not meant for me. So I'm like,
that's true.
At least I know I'm keeping the people around me that actually want to be around me.
Yeah.
I'm not for everybody.
Right.
But I know if I show up like this, I'm going to get the people that are my people.
Yeah.
Versus people that are like, oh, I love you, girl. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
So don't lie. No, you don't. I actually annoy you.
Yeah.
But if I'm just me, whoever gravitates does. If they don't, they don't. And that is totally fine. And like, I'm actually good with that now. And like I said, I actually hope I'm not for everybody because I don't want to be for everybody. I want to be me. And that's not going to sit well with everyone. I mean,
it's not.
Look at my family. Like, I mean, my family's enough to let me know that I don't really resonate with everyone because I don't speak to a lot of them. But that's okay with me too at this point because I used to think that family was like the end all and be all.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized like they can only see you how they used to see you. So like my family sees a felon. Melissa's a felon with she was an unwed young mother with a black man's baby. Yeah. That's how my family sees me.
Wow.
That's it. And that's okay. They could keep thinking that. That's great. Wow. They don't see Melissa that, overcame all these obstacles, watched her parents die, didn't really get raised or parented because my dad was too busy being sad that my mom died. Like, no one saw that part. No, like, and even if my family did see that part, they were like, hey girl, you guys, yep, okay. Like, no one checked in, no one made sure we were good. So like now looking back and like maybe like eventually down the road, someone will be like, hey Melissa, you're awesome. But I don't foresee that in the near future. And that's okay too. Like, that's the biggest part that I've taken away, like, of being the main character, is if you're in the story, you're in the story. If you're not in the story, you're not in the story.
Right.
And that's okay. Like, I don't need you to be in there because I'm good with me.
But
so,
you know, I think when you start that process of, you know, the self-love thing,
mhm,
like you said, you're gonna just resonate with with who needs to be in the story, like,
yes.
period. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's not really. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I just see it differently, like, now,
Mhm.
because at first it was like scrounging to get somebody to be in, like, please, you know, or can I be
Right,
in your
right.
story? You know what I mean? But now it's like I'm not even asking.
No.
So I'm not asking you to be in the story, but it's not nothing against anybody else. It's just the fact that people have not came to that awareness. You know what I'm saying, about
Right.
any of it. You know, and I was listening to this thing, and the lady was talking about how, I forgot what age group she's talking about, but I think it was like 70s or mid 70s and 80s kids, or even like 70s. Like, we were latchkey kids. Like, we really, and but it's not even, to me, when I sat with it, I was like, you know, people was coming out of a lot of rules, regulations,
Yeah.
religion, all that kind of stuff. And our parents, they probably were just like, oh, we're just being free, whatever it was. And
Winging
they
it.
didn't really, because it was almost like, do as I say, not as I do type of stuff.
Yep.
Right. But then when it came down to us, it was like we were kind of on our own, you know?
Yes.
And I really strongly believe that, as much as it was, like, you know, not so good sometimes, or some days or whatever, I really believe that it was for this time right now.
Oh my God.
We are like resilient. Like, it's like you don't even, like, you don't even understand how we even persevered. Like, we don't even understand.
When I think about it, I'm like, was that even my life?
Man.
Like, one thing that sticks out to me so much is when I was in my senior year after my mom died. Because my mom died August 27th. So we went to school the next week. Like, no one was like, hey, maybe you guys should stay home and, like, mentally process what just happened to your mom. No one did that. So they sent me to school, and I remember going and just being there. And I was like, what am I doing here? And it was like almost like an out of body experience for me. But when I think back to that world of, like, that part of my life, it's really, hey, Tiana, it's really like, it's really so crazy, because now, like, any memory is like a figment of your imagination, because you're literally creating it in your head. So when we were talking about, like, collapsing timelines and stuff, I wanted to go back and, like, rearrange those thoughts and make them not so, like, terrible, because, like, I really shouldn't have been at school at that point. For me, like, I could have used a couple days off, just to process. But when I think back to it, I'm like, whose life was that?
Right.
Was that me? Like, even all the other things, like the felon, all that stuff, I'm like, who was that person? Even some of the shit that happened like a month ago, I'm like, who is that girl? Like, who was that? But we changed so fast.
No, for real.
We evolve very quickly, but it's
Every
because
day,
we
it's
keep doing the work.
Yeah, every day,
Like, people,
there.
yeah, literally. And I'm like, who was that? What life was that? Oh God.
This lady was saying that she was saying that we literally, like, change every day. Like, every single day you're a new person, new creature in Christ, or Christ consciousness. Like, the more you develop, the more you just realize that you're just not the same as you were yesterday. And, like, even though we experience those things or whatever, it's still like something that is, like, when I hear you say about, like, how your family was and all that kind of stuff, it's still at the end of the day somebody else's perception of you
Exactly. Yep.
that we believe, that we subscribe to. You see what I'm saying? So she was like, "You're really an actor."
Yes.
Because you have not even tapped into the you. Like the
Right.
process that we're starting now to tap into us and our actual higher self is the real you.
Yes.
But everything else has been you just acting because you are coming off of somebody else's script.
Yeah. If you don't know who if you didn't know who you were, like for really real, you were just playing a part. And what you said to me the other day, that shit had my head spinning. You were like, yeah, anybody that's not you is a character. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Because it's everybody. It's everybody. It's everybody is a character.
Yeah.
In your life, in your script, because I will now that we know what we know and just how we are, I can never not look at life like a movie. Because you are the director. You're writing the script. You're the one casting people in your movie.
Yeah.
You know, like you are the person doing all these things. You're the producer. If you don't like what it looks like, you could change it. No, there's nothing set in stone because it's all you playing it out. So it's like, I can never look at life now as like, oh, it's just life. Like I used to look at life as, oh, I'm just here and I drive my car to 7-Eleven and I do the things. Like now, like even going grocery shopping is like an abnormal experience for me.
Abnormal. Like what the?
It's so weird. I'm like, why? Well, I walk around and I'm like, why am I here? Why did I write this in the story? Like the script sucks. Like, who are these people? Why did I write you in? Like this is my brain now because I'm like, I know that this shit is all me. Like I created Stop and Shop. I created this. I created yesterday. Listen, okay. So first of all, tomorrow is retrograde, Mercury retrograde, right? And I feel like everything from the past is being brought up to like be rehashed, right? I saw a ton of people from my past that I did not want to see. Straight up. I can't even lie. I did not want to see these people. I literally saw every single arch nemesis that I ever encountered in my life yesterday. And it was so fucking weird. But it was literally like one after another.
Oh, wow.
And then I left one place and then went to another place. No, retrograde starts tomorrow. And then on the 10th is a full moon.
No, but see what she's saying though?
Oh, what?
She's saying, are we already? I thought we were too, because I'm telling you, I agree.
Oh, it's every day. You're doing it every day.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the last 2 weeks or so has been like, I mean, it's all been like a change going on, a big huge change. But I've been like so emotional, like about every single thing. But it's not the emotion like you're saying.
Well, because you're like purging, like
exactly.
You gotta let go.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta let go of who you thought you even were. And I want to address the weed thing that she wrote because see, let me tell you a little story. I used to have to smoke in order to like function some days because it was just life was just doing the most. But as you are more aware, you don't have to even do that. It's more of a habit versus doing it because it's helping you connect. You know, like for me, it was a habit of smoking weed. It wasn't, oh, like this is helping me connect to, it wasn't that anymore. Like at one point, yeah, it did help. But then it was more like I was doing because that's just what I did. And then when I woke up after a couple months, I literally heard, you got to stop everything you're doing. The only thing I have not stopped doing is drinking coffee. And that is something that I have battled with because I need to do that also, because that is something I do as a habit. And it's not so much
Oh, okay.
what it is, it's more
Yeah.
of breaking the habit piece of it.
Oh, it's
Because
more like
nothing,
why. Okay.
because nothing should have like a hold on you,
Okay.
you know? But that was just something I just saw her write that in there. And honestly, the best thing I did was stop everything because it makes you clear.
It does,
Makes-
but you know,
It makes you clear.
it makes you clear. But let me tell you something about clear. Clear gets to bringing up ugly shit.
Yes. Oh, the ugliest shit.
And like you're saying, like I told you, like today I had a whole meltdown. But I've been good. So I've been like, oh, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like I was like I'm up here and da da da. Like I couldn't go through nothing, but I felt like I finally got a hang of some things. And I got hit with a ton of bricks today. And I just do, you know what I'm saying? So I could see how people be like, oh, I gotta go back to this. Cause you gotta sometimes just face that hard cold turkey. And that's why it's not good. It's not good or bad that you do weed or you do whatever you do.
Anything.
It's more of, can you handle it while you're clear? So you can see why it's coming up.
Right.
You can see how it needs to be smashed and demolished, not pacified, not band-aided, not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, not to get the like ow.
Yeah, no,
it's like,
no, we're knocking out
rip the band-aid off. Like
exactly.
Healing. Listen, healing is the hardest shit I've ever done.
Right.
The ugliest shit I've had, and you know, I feel like the last like 2 weeks, because I know even before I came out by you, and even now being back home, like I said to you, I didn't know what that was going to feel like for me or how it was going to be when I came back. Because honestly, I don't want to be here. Like I want to like go right back to Texas. But it's like when I sit and think about it, it's like all the emotions are like coming to a head. But in order to get past them, you gotta, and I know it's when I'm gonna say it, it's gonna be like, okay, yeah, that sounds easy enough. But you do have to just let it go, because there's nothing you can do to change it. You can feel the feeling, sit on it, but to stay in it too long, you do yourself a disservice. And like, even if you did have a meltdown, like who cares? Like, because that it lets it out.
Yeah, it passed through me. I heard this lady, she's like,
I'm gone.
Yeah, let it pass through you.
Yep.
So that means you might feel it, you might have to deal with it, but make sure it's passing through you. It's not staying, it's not chilling, none of that.
No.
It's passing through, and then you just keep pressing forward. Because that kind of stuff, sometimes it'll stop you right in your tracks. Because really, to tell you the truth, it brought up like my car, and then I went and the car wasn't even like working right. So I had to do a thing, had to charge me extra money. But I seen how I was trying to bring up, because we've been doing the abundance book, right?
Yep.
And it's like sources my supply. But now you want to try to test me to where I'm like, okay, well, if I'm spending this money, my daughter's birthday's coming up, my birthday's Sunday, her birthday's Friday, then you start doing all that stuff.
Right.
That starts bringing in old past ways that you dealt with, and how am I going to get this? How am I going to get that? Or what you know? Right. And it's like, no. So it causes you to go back and be like, hold up, sources my supply.
Exactly. And stand on that.
And
with your chest out. With your chest out.
Because you came to test me, I passed the test.
Yep.
I passed the test. So, hey.
But that's exactly. I feel like that's what I feel like this whole retrograde is. It's bringing the shit up to like let you look at it
to see if you're still stupid.
Yep. And I'll forever stand on that hill, because that's what it is. Like, this is what I wrote yesterday from my text message group. I put, sometimes situations come back up to see if you're going to allow it to control you or you control it. Mastering your mindset will have you smashing and demolishing old narratives that used to affect you. You get to choose how things go. You're creating your own reality. But I write this stuff, and but
it's not you writing it.
It's not even me writing it, but it's literally,
Like, I need to hear that.
but like today now, I'm like, this makes so much sense to me because everything that's coming up is to look at, be like, all right, how do I feel about this? I feel XYZ. That's okay. Let it go and know that there's something better coming. But it's the fact that you got to just detach. Oh, wait, hold on. What did you say? So I'm transmuting by sending those thoughts away and repeating source will provide. You got, honestly, Tiana, you got to read this book. You got to read the abundance book.
Yeah.
I don't have it in here. It's in the living room, but I'm going to send you the link to it.
Might be coming tomorrow.
Oh my God. Like, we're in the middle of reading it on Clubhouse. We've read it before. We did a 40-day challenge. And basically, like, I'm going to read the thing we read today. The principle. It's a 40-day challenge. There's 10 principles. You repeat them 4 times and cycle. So the one we read today was this. And I'm reading this because it's so important to really understand what it even means. Because like a lot of people, like I know for me, like, yeah, I had heard source is my supply before. I had heard give it to God, and I've heard all these things, but it just didn't hit. Like this book, the way the book words it, it makes you look at it like, wait a second. I've been looking at this all wrong. It's not, life is not what I thought it was in regards to abundance, prosperity, source, God, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
So today's principle was this. My inner supply instantly and constantly takes on form and experience according to my needs and desires. And as the principle of supply in action, it is impossible for me to have any needs or unfulfilled desires. And it's like,
that is so.
Because for me, even as I read this morning, so my inner supply, so the source of my supply, my substance, instantly and constantly takes on form and experience. So you don't know what the form is going to be. It could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be anything. You don't know how it's going to come. But it's going to come to you when you need it.
Yeah.
No matter what. So I think about it even like just so many little things. It doesn't even have to be big things, and it doesn't necessarily have to be money. And I feel like the money piece is like the littlest piece. Now that we have like the different understanding of what even substance and source and all this stuff even means, like that book, oh my God.
But it's funny because like once if you start going back to your old beliefs after knowing that, you see how much of a creator that you actually are, because you're actually creating like
with
everything.
everything.
You know what I mean? Like, because I had the fear of, this is an example of do you know I've been without my car? Like, do you know how long that's been? Me and my daughter calculated it. It was almost like 2.5, like almost 3 months.
Oh my God. Wow.
And I didn't even know what to do because I'm, as a single, I don't know what to do. So I was just like, okay, I have to just be stuck with this for a while. And then I just start getting the downloads of what to do, whatever. Okay, whatever. But then the fact that it was in the shop getting fixed, I still had those little fears of, oh my God, and so what happened was he was like, yeah, it's working, right? But then when I went to go pick it up, it was the coil on another one it was a misfire, and it was very minor, but it was like shaking as I took it home. I had to make a U-turn and bring it back. He was like, well, with me one more day. But you see how it's like the fear of it caused it to be something going on with it. And I'm like, oh my God. So you got to really, really hone into your power that you really have within you, which is source, which is your supply.
Yeah.
You have to really, really believe and know that this is really what it is, like the source of your supply, and that's it. That's all you can really stand on. And when you start feeling yourself alter from that, you have to get right back in line, because it's like you are a powerful creator. So it doesn't matter if it's something that you fear, you can create that fear.
Yep.
Yourself. You know? And it was only because of past, think about it. It was only because my car was like that,
Mm-hmm.
where I even had that thought of it being like that. This is crazy.
But even like anything with like, because Tiana had asked about like the mindset. Once you're aware that you're doing these things, like basically, I know for me, once I was aware that I was creating everything,
yeah,
you have to be aware of what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me,
that's the thing.
Yeah, you have to like really hone in. It's a constant everyday thing. Like this shit's not, it's not easy.
But see, then that's where the accountability lies because you have to be accountable of your own thoughts.
Yep, and what you're doing, like,
and it's how much easier it is to let somebody else be the dictator of your thoughts.
Yep. Oh yeah, please
let them run who you are. You know what I mean?
And just tell you what you're doing. Yep.
Yeah, it's not.
It's really being accountable, like, because I have like this thing that I wrote out for mindset, because mastering your mindset is the most important thing you can do in your whole entire life. No one can tell me differently. If you don't master your mindset, you're not really doing shit.
Right.
You're just not. Because if you can't control what you're thinking, you can't do anything else. You have to be able to know what you're thinking, and instead of thinking what you used to think,
right? Because
you're really going, all your thoughts are what other people have told you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you think. It's what, like we talk about, like with like the grandma opening the cans upside down. Right. No one knew why grandma was opening the cans upside down. But there's grandma, skirt, skirt. And everybody is like, I don't know why we do this. And then they finally asked grandma why. And she said, because the shelves were dusty. So you've been opening cans upside down for 30, 40 years because you didn't even know why. Mm-hmm. Instead of saying, like,
that was her reason why.
That was her reason.
That doesn't have to be your
reason. You don't
reason.
have to do it like that. And having to sit down and reevaluate what you're thinking, why you're thinking it, who told you, and then saying to this for me was like the kicker. Everything you need is inside of you. Every answer you need is inside of you. Every thought you need is inside of you. You are a magic 8-ball for yourself. If you sit down and you get quiet and listen, you're going to get the direction you need for everything you need to do.
And that's why meditation is the key. I know that it's been so cliche, like, oh, meditate. So, like, get on your head.
And it doesn't have to be like, no, it doesn't have to be all that. You could do it writing, you could do it walking, like whatever meditation looks like, however you get in the zone. But it's really just like mastering your mindset is everything, because your thoughts in your brain are creating your outside world. Your outside world is a reflection of every thought you're thinking.
Right.
And it depends what you're listening to, what you're having people tell you, what you're watching. Like I stand on this hill, like if you're really trying to change your life, you can't be listening to run-of-the-mill shit on the radio. You can't, because you're getting bombarded with shit that isn't a part of programming. Same thing with watching shit on TV. Everything in moderation. But you got to see what you're letting into your head. Like, are you listening to stuff about people getting killed? Are you watching murder shows?
Yeah.
Are you like, what do you think your outside world's going to reflect?
Right.
Oh, Kevin Gates is trash. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Something happened.
I love him.
Something
because
happened, and it's just.
I mean, but his music though.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
His music is like root chakra fucking hell.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking with my dick. Like, that's his song.
Yeah.
Like, if you're thinking with your dick, you're stuck in your root chakra.
That's right.
If you're thinking about sex all the time, you got to master that shit.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be.
Yeah. You're supposed to master
that. You got to master each part of you,
each level.
all of it, each level.
I was going to talk about that too. I was going to talk about when you're talking about the meditation. I think that we don't really correlate that with the whole chakra thing. It's just so much stuff that's being put out there, like meditate, chakras, so and so, all this stuff. But really, it's all a part of you and your whole system, your whole body.
Your energy.
Talking about the planet. When she's talking about the planet for helping us, I think that when I think about planets, I think about the fact that we're wrapped in this this flesh or what have you, right? But then we are filled with the substance. We have the galaxy and everything inside of us, and the chakras and the higher self and all those things. Like when I think about meditation, I think about third eye, because if you think about it, when you're meditating, you can see where thoughts are coming from.
Yes.
You can see where the root, like you said, the root, he's just stuck in the root. But you can see all of the chakras lining up if you really meditate and where you are on each level of yourself.
Yeah.
On each level of each chakra. So it's like, okay, so if I'm with my third eye and I'm meditating, now I can see what's going on. I can see where this is coming from my childhood. Oh, this is coming from, this fear I had about this, whatever. It's not like you're making it up, or you are creating it, but it's like you are grabbing it from outside sources that you experienced prior to. It's not even a fresh thought. It's not even a fresh thing. You know what I mean? It's like something that you're making up based on what you already been through. And so how do you master that? How do you smash and demolish that so you can be able to master that? Like you're saying, he's singing a song about that, right? But you're just singing that song because you're stuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not knocking nobody's creativity or music or whatever. I mean, whatever. But people are dancing to that and people are being all a part of that whole thing. And
not realizing it's a whole narrative.
Yeah, it's a whole narrative. It's a whole narrative. And it really all is a whole narrative unless you redirect it, however you want to direct it. You really can direct it how you really want to direct it. But you still got to know where it's coming from, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Yeah.
You got to know where that stuff is coming from.
See, what I was thinking about when you were just talking about the chakras, I think of it okay. So when I first came across the Gratitude Room, and we were reading that book, The Magic, like at first I felt my heart chakra, like it literally felt like it unlocked.
Did you feel that? I felt that. I don't know about that room, but I don't know. It was.
That's where I felt that. Like it felt like a boop, like somebody turned it and like unlocked it. Man. And then then I started realizing like, wait, that's like an energy center that was blocked.
Man.
Then I started feeling it all over my body. Like it was so weird. But like even the root chakra thing, like just like how people watch porn and all that stuff, like that is meant to keep you in a low vibration. All that shit, it's all programming. Because if you really, if people mastered the sex piece and could control themselves in a sexual manner, do you understand what people could do in this world? Yeah. That is the biggest thing. Look at how they sexualize
Everything.
single thing on TV because they want you to think that way, because that is a lower vibration than what you're supposed to be on. Your higher self isn't twerking. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is. But at the end of the day, like, to actually twerking is actually good for you because it loosens up your
but
hips.
you're not stuck twerking. That's it.
But
like,
you're not twerking to like back
like
it up on somebody. Yeah, like you
like autopilot twerking.
Yeah, like that's the only thing you know. Like you're going to the club, you're twerking, you're going and beating up, doing the most, and like all that stuff. It's meant to keep you in that vibration. The music is meant to keep you in that vibration. All of it is meant to keep us in that vibration. But once you like get out of it, once you pull out of it and you see it, you can't unsee.
Yeah.
You can't unsee it.
No.
And then you can actually navigate, but you feel the energy centers unlock as you're like dealing with each piece. Like your soul, like as you're going through, you're feeling them unlock because you're combating the demons that you had.
Right.
Whether, like, for me, my heart was hardened because my parents died. Like, I watched them die. I was hurt. I was mad at men. I hated this and I hated that, but I didn't even know it was hard.
Right.
Until I felt it.
No.
When I felt that thing, oh my God, the amount of love that I felt, I was like,
I can't believe you're saying that because I literally heard and I was like, what? I was very hurt that was happening. I'm like thinking, because I thought my heart was, hey, what? My heart is not hurt. My heart is
well, because you don't think it is because you're still loving.
Yeah. You're still loving all that, but
when it's really
it's
like
hard towards yourself. That's probably
yes, it's you that you're not like loving yourself the most. And see, I remember specifically sitting and being like, I love me. And I was like, oh my God, that feels so weird. I felt weird. And then now I'm like, oh my God, I fucking love me. I think I'm amazing. Yeah. But that was months ago. That was not something that I could do last year.
Right.
I couldn't say that with a straight face. You know, like I know they say fake it so you make it and all that, but I mean, self-love is number one. That shouldn't be an option. That shouldn't be something that makes you feel weird. But when it felt like Care Bear stare out of my heart.
It was a whole crackle. I was like, what? Oh. I'm serious. I was like, what? That was very, I was like, whoa. For real.
But it takes a little bit because you gotta, if you aren't going within yourself, you're not getting the guidance that you need. Because even like, for instance, when we started reading the prosperity book or the abundance book, I had stuff come up about my dad again. You know, things that I thought I healed already came up, smacked me in the face, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But then I felt the feeling. I loved on it, moved on. Yeah. And now, even when you think you've done the healing work, you're still going to have shit pop up. Yeah. But now it's not crippling to you.
No.
Because you're practicing how to get through it every day. You're practicing a little by little, little by little. And then when it comes up, like, yeah, you might be sad for like a hot minute, but it doesn't hit the same. It's not, you know, I'm not laid out on the couch going, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm like, all right, well, what's next? Like, what do I have to clear next? But that's really why you have to like meditate and even just sit with yourself and think. Like, my thing that I say is infinite intelligence within me that knows all things. Like, align me with people, places, and experiences that are in my highest good. Right. Release people, places, and experiences that are not in my highest good. And let me hear what I need to hear, see what I need to see, and know what I need to know. and I move about accordingly.
Yeah.
And if something comes up for me, I listen, even if it doesn't sound normal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to listen because I know that that's what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
And every time I listen, something good happens.
Mm-hmm.
Versus when I used to be like, oh, I know what I'm doing. And I had crazy shit happening.
Right.
But it's really trusting yourself. And that, I think, goes along with being the main character too, is when you finally trust that, like, you're doing you for you.
Right.
That's how you can be the best like when I say I'm the main character, like I'm showing up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing up for me, not for anybody else. Because I don't have to show up for anybody else. I have to show up for me. And then everybody benefits from it around me because I'm being my best self.
Right.
So I'm the best self for my kids. I'm showing my kids that they can be themselves.
Right.
I'm showing them that they can be strong. They don't have to let people knock them down or talk about them. Like, who cares? So,
right.
But that comes with like the love inside of you and like being just showing up for you.
Just showing up.
I think we make stuff so hard.
Well, I think you have to just kind of like, to me, when you talk about the hero's journey thing, then you begin to accept the fact that it is a journey. It's like it's all that is part of the process. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and even like when you are going through something,
like it's not overnight. It's a journey.
Yeah, it's not overnight. It's once you come to that acceptance, you're not so hard on the actual process, and it's like, you know, you start seeing that, okay, I'm having an experience. I'm experiencing this. Because even if you're able to, like, just think about the fact how beautiful it is to be able to handle something a certain way, and now be able to look at it and handle it a different way.
Right. And not be disappointed in how you and not be disappointed in how you handled it.
Yes. And not have that residue feeling, that whole, like, you can like say, you know what, I handled that in a different way because I've done some self inner work that caused me to see it in a different perspective. So now I'm not handling that same type of way. That's like growth. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God,
like, even like I said today, what happened to me today? Yes, I'm expressing it to you guys what happened. At the same time, I handled it differently because usually it would have plagued me for heck long days and days and days. I'm really just like still pressing through.
Like we're sitting on a podcast.
I'm doing a podcast today.
Right,
I'm just down right now. You know what I mean? No, for real. Like that.
No, I know.
But because I can be me, and I'm not ashamed to say whatever took place today. I'm here and I'm doing it. I'm doing the podcast. You know what I'm saying? And it's just me. I'm just here and I'm just saying what I'm saying. Like, that's it.
And by sharing that, though, but even sharing that, it's huge because there are people out there and that are going to be listening to that, you know, like, think about it. You were upset earlier in the day, but now you're sitting on the podcast. We're talking about what we're talking about. We're sharing our experiences and letting people see, shit happens, but you don't have to let it disqualify you.
Right.
You don't have to let it knock, like, yes, things are going to knock you down.
Right.
And that's okay. But are you getting back up? It's okay to not be okay, but you can't stay there.
Right.
And that's something that for me, I used to sit in the residue of it. Like I loved it. Loved it. I would be like, oh, poor me for weeks, not even days, friggin' weeks. God forbid something happened. I'd be talking about it and bringing it up and rehashing it.
Yeah.
But really, once something happens, I'm sorry, living in the now, knowing the only time is now.
That's a whole different ballgame.
That shit, once you know that, everything's a joke. I can't take people seriously. Like, people are mad at me about stuff from 20 years ago. Okay. If you want to be, go ahead. I don't even think about you.
Like the man said, people visit me. People visit my past more than I do.
exactly.
Like,
But
but
that's
tell me how they're
exactly.
doing, because I don't know them no more. I don't know 'em no more.
Let me
How are
know.
they? How they been doing?
But that's the thing, like, like just like I was saying about my family, they see me as who I was 20 years ago because they haven't caught, like, I know who I am on the inside.
Mhm,
I know what my life's going to look like, right?
mhm,
But because people can't see inside of my brain,
mhm,
they're like, this chick isn't doing shit.
mhm,
She ain't doing nothing.
mhm.
But then once stuff starts happening, right? Like, I know what my life's about to look like because my visualization game is chef's kiss.
Man.
So I know what it looks like, and I know it's only a matter of time.
Mhm.
So as I sit and I'm doing all this work, people are still like, oh, look, it's that girl, where she's not really doing it. But when it happens, they're going to be like, how'd you do that? How'd you do that?
Being still.
Yep. And I trusted and I listened and I was obedient to myself because I know what the vision is. Just because you can't see it, it's not for you to see.
Right.
It's not for you to see. And that goes for anybody. Your vision, whatever you as the main character see as your vision, that's yours. No one can take that from you.
No.
And it doesn't have to look like anybody else's.
But I'm telling
you. At all.
Until, like that man said with the 3D, 4D, 5D thing, it's easy. It's easy to just say, and y'all know you're not just saying it because you're just saying it from your point of view.
Right.
That's all we can do, like you're saying. But until you really experience it, you don't even know.
No.
You don't even know that even exists.
No.
I'm sorry, you just don't. It's like a whole new world and a whole new discovery. It's like a huge treasure hunt.
And you can't bypass the work. I see a lot of people, they like spiritual bypassing is a thing. And people are trying to do shit to like conjure shit and do the most. And that's not how this works. You can't skip the work. Like where I'm at right now is years in the making. But really my awakening was last August. And I literally felt reborn.
Literally.
As a baby, as an adult baby. And I was petrified by the truth that I was hearing. I was shook.
But see, even the Bible says you must be born again.
Yeah.
You must be born of the Spirit.
And that honestly,
it's such a true thing, though.
It's so fucking true. It's so true. It's so true. It's so true. It's so true. And honestly, I know I've said it before, but like, had I not known you, I wouldn't have known what to do because I was hearing shit and I'm like, what is going on with me? I was scared. I was scared. I was scared. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. People are like, oh, my awakening is so amazing.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I was fucking petrified. I'm sorry. Like, I'm scared. But now I'm like, oh. But back then it wasn't.
You're really saying something. I really thank you for the acknowledgement. But I feel very heartfelt about that because that just shows that the work is really being done. And though I cannot jump in your body and make you see nothing, I was able to assist. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I already been through that portion of it, I guess. I don't know. Like I don't know how to even explain it. I just know what I heard. And it's really just the obedience. Because we're just a vessel. You know what I mean? So
you were so kind and like loving about it. Cause I remember being like, I don't know, like is something bad? Like, are these things bad? And you're like, there is no good or bad. Like, it's whatever perception, like, whatever you give it value. And I'm like,
yeah, but who was that who said that? 'Cause I don't even.
I know. I know. But still, like, the fact that, like, I even had you to even say that shit, like,
Wow.
that shit was crazy for me. I was like, oh my God. Like, that took me, like, my whole awakening, like, I sat for a week where I was like, what is going on? Like, I did not go on Clubhouse for the week. Like, I just felt all these different energies. I didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, oh my God. But when I would talk to you, you were just like, yeah, like, da da da. And I'm like, wait, this is normal? Okay. Yeah. And then I didn't feel so alone. And like, that's what I think. I remember when I did wake up, I was like, I think I'm here for people that when they're just waking up, that they know they're not alone.
Yeah.
That they know that they don't have to like that they're not weird.
Right. No.
You know?
Right.
But like if you don't know somebody, you would think you were a crazy person. But if you don't know anybody that's going through it, that's why Clubhouse for me, Clubhouse was like, oh, fucking life changer. That
actual movement that we was on, because you think about Clubhouse, and you think about some of them damn rooms that be on there, can really let you down damn like path of no like wrong turn. You know what I'm saying? But that whole movement that was going on at that time for us, you know, it was something.
Oh my God, yeah.
It was something. It was huge.
That's what I mean. That just was a whole.
People was able to really demonstrate who they were, and really kind of like voice who they were. You know what I mean? Because
without judgment.
Without judgment.
That was a huge thing.
She's talking about the throat chakra and all that. That's what I'm saying. To me, after I felt my okay, so before that, I was just like, okay, go in there, and I don't even know. You already know the story. I didn't even know even about chakras like that. It was like exercise your throat chakra. This is what I heard. Okay, and I'm not thinking that this is what it's going to be doing. I'm going to be on somebody's stage on a virtual app. You know what? I didn't even think of it being a stage even at first. I was like, okay, we're on the app and we're up here, and then there's an audience down there. And I was like, wait a minute, this is a stage. This is a freaking stage with a microphone.
Yep.
Like, what? And I'm on.
All I need is one mic.
Yeah. And so after a while, I'm like, okay, this is what you're talking about. Like, okay. So it made me see that as I was obedient to go exercise. I'm just saying this right now since I've seen Tiana put what she put on there. And this is what, you know, how stuff comes to me.
Yep.
I'm seeing that because I was obedient to go exercise my throat chakra, not even knowing what that was going to be looking like or what that meant or nothing. I said, oh, I think you should get on Clubhouse because I think you'll enjoy it. What the fuck is Clubhouse? I don't even be on social. What is Clubhouse? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unbeknownst to me, I'm getting on somebody's stage. People are putting me on their stage. And then I end up finding these rooms and I find a community that I want to be a part of or whatever. And I'm really having the floor. You know what I'm saying? But in the midst of that, I feel my heart crackle. So my heart chakra is getting healed as I'm being obedient with exercising my throat chakra. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
And then what comes after that? Your third eye. Now you seeing stuff, you know, from a whole bird's eye view. After you, it's like when you graduate, like not even graduate, I was on the process of healing my heart, not knowing, because I was being obedient to exercise my throat chakra.
It's like the key unlocking.
And I can't literally saying that the same thing, because you're not in my body, I'm not in your body, but I literally felt the crackle, like, and I was like, are you kidding me?
Like when I think about it, I still get warm and fuzzy because it was such a feeling of like love. And I'm already like a big fucking Care Bear, you know? Yeah. I was like, I love everything, and everybody was probably like, oh my God, girl, you okay? I'm like, I I just love it. But I felt like that anyway.
Yes.
Like I love everybody anyway, but it was just like such an intense, like tender heart Care Bear. Oh my God. Like
Yes.
it was sick. It was sick. And then
And I
we were
finally
in the
loved me.
Sutra. Yeah,
Mhm.
like, and then when we were in the Sutra, man,
Oh,
listen,
forget it.
that was
That's when
it.
it happened for me. Was in the Sutra.
Oh.
It was like,
Oh my God, that Sutra, let me tell you something. Sheesh. That, I already felt like the love, you know, but the day I woke up in that room, I felt that like, it was like a whole, all over. And I was like, oh my God, like, I just love you so much.
damn.
I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know what was going on. And the feeling of love was so huge.
Yeah.
And like now looking back, like I'm so grateful because like I said, I know there are people who never wake up. Like I know that my dad and my mom were not like awakened. Like I know they weren't. And it's like that feeling of love in your heart. That was just, once I felt that, I felt like alive.
Yeah.
And then after I don't know, like it took me a bit to like get into it because like I said, even like going to the grocery store, you're like, am I really here?
Yes. Yep.
Who are these people? Why am I carrying these food items? Like it was very weird. And then I like integrated back into being here, like you said, in the world, not of it.
Yeah.
And then now I like function, you know, as well as I'm supposed to, I guess. I don't know. I'm just winging everything I do, literally.
It's like
we're literally
again. When you say that, you know, now you got me thinking like the heart as like an egg. And you know how you're like a bird and it hatches?
Yeah. Oh,
you know what I mean? And like all
that.
the things you've been through before. I don't know. I'm just feeling like this. Like
it
was like you sitting on the egg the whole time, like for it to
you hatch the egg.
or something. Like what?
I love it.
And then
I'm telling you, like thinking about it, my heart is like, it's just so huge. It's so huge. But see, we should do a thing about the chakras because it's like, I think of like the energy center spinning, like that's what it felt like, a spinning and just like energy, like the energy was beaming, like beaming. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that. Sheesh. I love that we can like talk about this because I know there's other people that have dealt with this and have no outlet to even discuss this or even be able to talk about anything. And like, when I first woke up, because Tiana wrote highly sensitive. When I first woke up, I was highly sensitive.
Yeah.
I was like, but now, no. Now I'm like, I got your number. But I can control.
The sensitivity kind of turns into like sensitive to your environment, like sensitive to like you can pick up like radar. Kind of like,
oh my God, yeah.
That's what it turns into, like more.
Yeah. It's like a bat signal. It's not, it's like anything else. You have to master it. You have to master your emotions. You have to master your mindset. Like these are all things that like, they don't come overnight. And even when you think you did, something else will come up. But even as far as like, I'm going to keep going back to the main character because really you have to decide to be the main character.
Yeah.
And then that's when you can sit and go, okay, well, what do I have to do to be that? What do I have to do to be the highest version of myself? What does that person look like? What does the highest version of Melissa do? What is she wearing? What does she smell like? What words does she use? Like these are all things that like I had to consider when I am looking at what character am I playing. And I always think about how I was like, do I want to be dependent or dependable?
Right.
And I wanted to be dependable.
Right.
Because I want to be able to go to myself and be dependable, but I want people to be able to come to me also and be able to depend on me, like my family. Like I want them to be able to look at me as a dependable person.
Right.
But I had to do that for myself first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's really, I think, what everything is really going within yourself and really just sitting.
Yeah.
There's nothing you have to do to get anywhere.
No.
It's actually the less you do, the better off you are. Like you just have to be.
Like the more you, because the more you be, the more you sit and hear.
Yeah.
You hear what the divine really has to say about you. Like the real you. Not the you that everybody else said
that
you
people
were,
tell you you're supposed to be.
Or your environment and all that type of stuff. It's just like there's a you that is really you from within that nobody could name, nobody could say but you. So when you are going within and stuff like that, and you start to hear, because that voice right there, that obedience, that same thing I'm telling you that said, exercise your throat chakra. And then my sister came and said the thing, not knowing that was going to get me to Clubhouse, was going to get me
to do
to,
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know, but then I was willing.
Right? But you didn't even have to download that app, and you listened and you did it.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Is listening to the unseen, and it's like listening with your spiritual ears and spiritual eyes, not with this outer these five senses here. That's what's going to lead you to your higher self.
Yes.
Then you start to say, oh my God, I'm a co-creator. Oh, I can create myself. Oh, that's the avatar. Oh, I can create my avatar however I want it to be.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, I created this. Oh, you see what I'm saying? Then you start changing stuff up because you're like, okay, I can change it. But before that, you don't even know that you can do any of these things.
No, you think your life is like set in stone. Like, I know when I got the felony, I'm like, I'm destined to be a felon forever. And no, I was that in like 2002. But 2022, like I beat myself up for that for years. God. But now in 2022, we're best-selling authors. We're podcast hosts, you know, like what?
Yeah.
But if I would have let other people keep telling me who I was,
right,
I would be that.
Right.
Because I'm Melissa with the felony. I'm Melissa Not anymore. Like maybe according to you.
When you keep on believing about yourself, you attract people that are going to keep reminding you of that.
Oh my God.
You are people.
You are people. Yep.
So even the last little hurdle, I ain't gonna go into it, but that was all like a test to be like, okay, are you still stupid? Are you gonna leave up out of here still not exercising who you are? Like for real? You gonna let this entity or this person or whatever it is who don't even know you from a can of paint try to dictate and tell you who you are, or put you under their foot, or put you in a box? No. Or put baby in the corner forever. Anybody who's seen Ghost, there's nobody puts baby in the corner.
Nope.
So, I'm just saying, like, but then you have to get mad, not get mad like that, not get mad till you get angry and start going off on people, but you got to get mad enough, you got to get fired up enough to be like, no, because it's not even the other person, it's you.
It's you and what you're allowing.
How you felt about yourself. And then you created that in a manifestation. As
rude
character that it is. It's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but when you recognize that you're doing it, I don't know.
Oh, and you know, everything that you say out of your mouth, every word is a spell. Every word. So when you're saying things, like I'm super intentional, and like affirmations for me are huge because I had to reprogram how I thought about me, because I was thinking that I was what everybody told me I was. But then I was like, but who are you really? Who do you want to be? And then I started like dictating that way. And even like, just God, everything, like from what I looked like or how I thought I looked. Like I told you, I struggle. I thought I was like the ugliest thing going.
Oh my God.
I thought I was ugly.
Wow.
I thought I looked like a man. I literally hated my lips. Oh my God. And then I looked in the mirror and I did the Ho'oponopono thing.
Right.
And it was like, thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. And I cried in the mirror because I'd never really told myself I love you. And like now, I told you I do the affirmations where I'm like, why are you so gorgeous? You know,
why are you so gorgeous?
Why are you so gorgeous?
Good morning, gorgeous.
Yeah, like I never thought like that before though. I thought I was like the ugliest thing going. And but it was in my head. But who's telling me that? Me.
Yes.
I'm telling me that I'm ugly. What kind of shit is that? But then when you start saying it out loud, smash and demolish, you smash it. Because it's like, that is not even true.
Yeah, it's like stuff you're letting come in.
Yeah.
From out here.
And I like, who even said that? Nobody. I said that to me. Like, what? Just like all the other things. Like, that's what I really laugh too about just life in general.
Yeah.
All the shit that I told myself for years, it was just me telling me. Every time I thought I was a loser or I wasn't good enough, or it was just me making it up.
See, when you say that, it's like it is the outside illusion that is telling you that. You know what I'm saying? It's like coming in like this. It's not coming from out of you. It's coming from inside of you.
It's from inside.
I mean, from outside in.
But it literally was like, when you think about it, like I don't even, like when I think back, like who was telling me even that?
It was just shit. TV, I'm thinking like all the stuff in our environment. Like if you're not shaped like this, then you're this.
Yeah.
If you're not looking at this magazine, then you're this. You know, if you're not looking at this commercial, you're like this, or like
I was always I was always different.
People don't hear me when I say that.
Yeah. No, you're right.
You have 30 kids in the classroom. All these kids from different walks of life. You don't know what's going on at home. You don't know what's going on. But some kids got this and some kids don't. And some some kids need more attention. Some kids need you to really break it down to what you're saying. But that's not happening. It's like everybody's just grouped up in one thing. And then if somebody raised their hand because they know, because their mom probably sat down and doing the homework with them. But your mom's not. Mine wasn't. I was signing my own notes, late notes and stuff. I can write just like her. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what's missing from somebody. And so you're constantly comparing yourself, because then I'm raising my hand and then, okay, because I didn't get picked. Okay, I'm not smart enough. It's a lot of things going on.
Yes.
That
no, you're right.
Tell you who you are. I'm sorry. And it's all
like now that you're saying it, like I really in school, because I didn't look like everybody else. I thought that's why I thought I was ugly. I didn't realize that everybody else just looked the same.
I mean, they probably thought that
you know what I mean though? Like it's because I didn't present like everybody else. I didn't dress like everybody. I didn't do what everybody else was doing. Like I would walk around with like, I'd have like a bandana on, like I would have it all like pulled back and shit, and I didn't look like everybody else. So then I'm like, oh, am I ugly? Like, am I weird?
No.
Like, I always felt weird though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I always thought I was a weirdo, always. But then somebody said to me, "You're not weird. You're unique."
Unique.
And I was like, "Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at that." Never occurred to me.
Never
Because
could.
it never occurred to me. Not even once.
But the Bible says my people are peculiar people.
Yeah, I'm peculiar.
Like the ones who are unique and all that. Those are the ones. Those are the ones.
Yeah, I'm peculiar. I'll take that. I'll take that and ride that to the bank.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So it's okay, you know. But yeah, those are the things that you go back and you heal, and you go back and you say, okay, because now that you know what you know now, you can go back through there and be like,
I love you, you little weirdo. Yep.
Yeah.
Literally though, like you just, it's so different. Like looking back and just being like,
mm-hmm.
I love her. Like I love little Melissa.
Yeah.
And I love teenage Melissa. And even Melissa with the felony. I love her too.
Yeah.
And it's just accepting all of you. Period. Like you have to.
Yeah.
Even my bat jiggle on my arm. Like I love that too. And my belly jiggle. Like I love you too. Like that for me, when I really looked at it, because like, why would you be telling you that you're fucked up?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make sense. Like, and then when you take it a level deeper, see, now that I look at it like, okay,
mm-hmm.
so we're the walking manifestations of God on earth, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm saying that I'm ugly, I'm saying that God is ugly and that the creation is ugly.
Wow.
And that's not where it's at.
Wow.
Because that's really what you're doing. You're going, ooh, that you're not good enough. God's not good enough. God's creation isn't shit. That's what you're saying. So then I was like, oh, I better reframe that thought.
Yeah, just like that abundance book when he said, if you whatever that's
he said, if you have a problem with money, you got a problem with God. And it's like, ow.
Whoa.
Okay. Because God is abundance. Period. It's abundance.
See, but look at that though. See how like the standard of everything has been taken out. Because it was like, in God we trust, and da 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 da. And even like we used to say that, even like, you know, just all the things we used to say back in the day, even in school, whatever. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty. You know what I'm saying? All those things, even though it was a lie, but it wasn't a lie for real. No, it was. They was using it.
They were using it in a way to control versus what the words actually are.
It was the truth, right?
Yes.
But they were not implementing the truth. They were just using the truth. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, to control your.
Are true, right? And it's just the misuse of the thing, and now it's not even a thing no more. There's no reverence for any of that.
No,
because not okay. And then it's like the way it was put to us is that it was outside of ourselves, and God's outside of ourselves. Da 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 da. But so when you do away with it, it's like this whole fire and brimstone come out the sky. I don't have to reverence God no more because He's mean, and if I, you know. But now it's like, okay, when you turn it around and you realize it's you, then the whole trajectory of it changes. And then it resonates with you when you say, if I say I don't love, if I say I'm ugly, then I'm saying God is ugly.
It's
like bringing the reverence back, because that's going. I'm sorry, that just. Because I had a problem with the whole money thing. I really did. I was the one, money is the root of all, just all that type of stuff. And I'm just take the meek route out, da da da. You know what I mean? But now it's like, no, because it's abundance. And it's really for all of us to have. There should not be any lack. The only lack is the fact that we have the
that we think there is.
Right.
Well, that's like, what did the book say last night? When God said, here's the kingdom. He didn't
Right.
say, take a piece of the kingdom.
No.
He didn't say, here's a fraction. He's saying, here's the kingdom. Like, there's not supposed to be any lack.
No.
But because we don't know better, everybody's going, no, I'm good. No, I'm okay. Just like the other day when I got, offered money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you need money? And normally I would have been like, no, I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I know, since we're all one, that was Source working through somebody. And I was like, okay, thank you. I'm a cheerful giver and receiver now. I'm like, yes, please, because that's the way it's supposed to be anyway. Because it's coming to you, because that's the way substance is forming itself to be delivered to you.
Right.
So take it, smile, be grateful, and push forward, push through. Because really,
think about if you knew that you weren't supposed to hoard things because you are God and you are the abundance.
Mm-hmm.
So then there would not be any lack because there wouldn't be any no needs.
No.
Because if you're giving somebody something as the giver and then somebody's receiving, it's a revolving door.
Yep.
Because nobody's hoarding anything. Nobody's saying, oh, this is mine. No. And there's no separation from what's going on. But then when you do that, it creates, think about how you can play with that. Even when we read the universal, what was it? The conscious laws?
Oh, the universal laws of awareness.
Yeah.
Cosmic laws of awareness.
Cosmic laws of awareness. It's like, okay, you can play with those things though. Even though those are principles like that, you can still play with those however you want to. So if you're withholding Source from people and not letting it flow, then you can dictate who's going to be in poverty, who's not, because you're stopping in the flow of what's going on. And then you're only circulating the flow over here, but not over here. And you're having desolate land, projects, people starving. Okay, why is that going on when it's plentiful?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is that happening? That's because there's somebody's damming it up somewhere, knowing the principle of it, but putting barricades on it and putting, blockages on it. And it's not supposed to be like that.
But I mean, even to sit though, for all the times that I'd be like not a good receiver, that I was like, no, I'm good.
That too. That's a problem.
You're doing that.
That's not okay.
You're doing yourself such a disservice.
You are.
Because if you're giving, and you're not reciprocating, so think of it like a circle. And like there's two arrows, like one going this way and then one going this way. So you're giving and receiving, receiving. If you're just giving, you're stuck. You can't move.
Nope.
And like literally it's in I was gonna say the friggin' Bible, but it's literally in the Bible.
Yeah.
To be a cheerful giver and a cheerful receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are laws. See, that's the other thing. There are spiritual laws, there are cosmic laws, there are laws to the universe that people are not following. And when you're not following, when you don't know, but once you do know that there are other laws at hand here, like the laws of the land aren't shit, really. I mean, when you boil it all down, it's really the spiritual laws that are what orchestrates the universe. And you have to abide by those. And you don't even know if you are or not until you know you are or not.
Yeah.
But like when we read the cosmic laws of awareness, like it's laws of awareness. So you're raising your level of awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And once you know, you can't unknow it.
You can't.
Just like looking at, I know we talked about it. My favorite one is when you look at people as if they are also God. You're addressing people, treating people as they are also Source. because they are. We're
Mhm.
all from the same source. Everybody is you. You are everybody.
Yeah.
But if you're not functioning like that, like you might not know, but then once you know, if you're not acting like that, what are you doing?
Right.
And it's like the know better, do better thing.
Yeah.
Just like when I first woke up, I remember hearing that I was to not be doing certain things. Like I was
Mhm.
specifically told no tarot cards, no pendulums, no yodeling on my head, no doing
Mhm.
anything extra. That every single thing I needed was inside of me.
Mhm.
And when I heard that, I was like, well, not that I didn't know what to think about that, because I know that people use them and stuff, and that's fine for their journey. But for mine, it was like, no,
Yeah.
no. And I was also told, like, you have to decide because we have free will. You have to decide what you're going to choose.
Yeah.
And you can't serve two masters.
Mm-mm.
So you can't dabble. I mean, you can, but then you're still like not really walking it. And
Yeah,
that's the
because
thing for me. Like, I got to
yeah.
walk it. If I'm going to say it, that's how I want to show up in that light of doing that.
Right.
And I had to really sit with that, because this isn't something like this walk that we do isn't for like the faint of heart. And if you're called to it, I feel like you have the choice to hang up the phone,
Mhm.
or you keep pushing forward. And I think that's where we're different, because we could have hung up the phone and been
Right.
like, nah,
Right.
it's okay.
Yeah.
But we walk it out because this is what we're called to do.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is just what we're called to do.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what we love. And I know that there are other people who got the call too, but they're like, nah, not right now. I'll call you back.
Mhm.
Okay. That's cool for you. That's your walk. But
Mhm.
for me, like, even really, I remember sitting and going, how could I possibly even do any of this? Like, I don't even know what this even means.
It's
And I
like,
remember
yeah.
like, oh, let me go back to like cooking my little chicken nuggets and calling it a day. But then I realized, like, I'm doing myself a disservice by not being the best version of me.
Mhm.
And like, the deeper I get, I realize that it's because that's my God self calling me
Mhm.
to be the highest version of me.
Yeah, to the yeah. It's calling you forward. Yeah.
Yeah, to be Melissa.
Right.
Well, not even Melissa, to be my higher self,
Mhm.
instead of just being this lady that, you know, sweeps the floor here.
Mhm.
Like, we're so much more than that. Like, we're literal walking fucking galaxies.
Yeah.
Like, we have the whole galaxy in, like, you're a whole galaxy.
Mhm.
Even to be born, what had to happen for you to be born?
Oh my God. Don't even.
Two people
Oh.
had to be created.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Not only did they have to be created, they had to encounter each other
Yep.
at a specific time and place to connect and resonate enough to sleep together. And then a sperm had to fight its way to create you. And then you had to be incubated in a vessel. And then you came through a portal between your mother's legs to get here. And then you had to grow. Man, come on now. Like, everybody's really selling themselves short when you think about it. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I know I'm a walking miracle. We all are. And that's why, like, I can never not be the main character now.
Right.
Like,
I can never not. I mean, you can't. But that's what I'm saying. That's all goes with the territory. You wake up to you being the main character.
Yep.
You wake up to it. You wake up to
A
that
lot
whole
of
thing. And it's like,
it's deep.
that's how the ball bounces.
But it's really, honestly though, it's really as simple as being a good person, treating people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
It's really simple. It's not hard. Like, we make things hard because that's just humans. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But like, really, we're walking miracles, like whole unicorns.
Yeah.
Selling ourselves short. But once you realize who you are, you walk in that shit because you're a whole friggin' universe. A whole universe.
You just don't, I mean, like I said, like when it comes down to, if you're looking for somebody else to tell you something or whatever, I mean, you might hear something, whatever, but you might hear something all along and then it does not resonate with you. It has to resonate with you.
Yep.
In order for you to even get that spark to catch any type of flame. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it just takes different strokes for different folks, different reasons, different things. And that's why we really can't compare ourselves to each other. That's why for them to have us compare ourselves to each other is just already out of whack and already out of balance. You know what I'm saying? When you can respect when you respect somebody else as the individual they are, and you respect yourself as the individual that you are, that's where harmony comes in at. That's where, okay, you know, that is going. I don't know what it's going to take for you. That's not my business. I don't even know what it's going to take for me. All I'm doing is pressing forward every single day. Like, I don't have the answers. You know what I mean? But I follow within myself.
Right.
Like, I don't follow others. I follow me.
Me. Yeah.
You know, and all along, it's always been you, and you are good enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
And there's really nothing that anybody else can. I know I ruffled feathers when I said this once, but really, there's nothing anybody can teach you. It's really. People get mad at that.
It's your own
I got like a whole phone call about that. But it's really you remembering who you are. And once you do, you're like,
can't remember me like that.
You can't remember.
So what
how can you tell me better about me than I know?
Yeah.
You can't. Maybe years ago you could have. But like I said before, like, the worst thing anybody ever did was let me know who I was.
Right.
Because now I'm like, you can't tell me about me.
It's not
and there's only
smart.
one me.
It's smart ass. Like, it's really the truth.
Yeah. Like, like, can I look at other people's experience and say, all right, I see what they did. That resonates. But can you tell me how to be me? No. Nope. There's only one of me. And I know, because I feel it in my heart now, what is best for me.
Right.
I don't need to outsource. I used to be like, I don't know, guys. What should I do? Or do you like this shirt? Do you like my shoes? What the fuck? What?
Everything.
No.
Everything.
So I will never. And once I realized that, like, it really doesn't matter what anybody thinks.
Right.
About anything that you're doing.
Right.
I'm not going to ask you if you like my shirt. Do I like my shirt?
Right.
I like my shirt.
It's the first.
I don't care if you like my shirt.
Right.
I like my shirt. And that was so huge for me because you can't compare to anybody because there's only one of you. And that's the beauty of being you.
Yeah.
Like, we are literally, like, I love thinking about it like this. That so we're all source manifested here, but we're all different because we are source experiencing itself.
Yeah.
So, like, I get to experience through your eyes. Like, when you tell me stories, like, I'm experiencing things that you've gone through.
Right.
And I can visualize it. So, like, when you're telling me a story, like when you were younger or about your mom or like, I didn't meet your mom, but I have like a picture in my head of her. And like, when you tell me I experience her,
it's really true.
And that's the beauty of like being different because wouldn't it be boring if everybody was the same, telling you the same shit all the time? Right. You know, like, I don't know, like, you have to embrace how different you are. Like, now that I've done that, I don't want to be like anybody else.
But see, we can't, and that's the thing. That's the programming. Is that like even like
Yep.
puzzle pieces? Think about that.
You literally
the same piece is not going to go in that puzzle piece.
Nope.
It has to be a different puzzle piece. Like I was thinking about when that time when that man had said that big huge mirror and it just shattered a mirror. Like how many mirrors do you have? You only have one. That's God.
Yep.
We are the many pieces of God expressed in so many different ways.
It's so it really is so beautiful.
Really is. And everybody has to is going to find their way back to the one. Like Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, had a great fall. You know, like it's so. But like again, I mean, like I said, you definitely have to just kind of go within to even like, not to say that you somebody can't comprehend what's being said, but to feel it, because that's the thing. That's what I heard today. This thing was saying like, it's not even necessarily like the breaking down and like trying to figure everything out. It's more of just the experience of it and the feeling of it,
right?
Because your higher self is not able to feel the experience
physically.
So once you do that and you go through what you went through and you make that circle, that hero's journey, and then you connect back, like we're right now going through the process of the 40-day challenge. It makes me think about the 40 days, 40 nights, when you really come into yourself and really sit with yourself and really like absorb and accept the God self that you are. Because you're now saying, okay, I am a vessel and I'm accepting the substance, which is the all. You see what I'm saying? And now I am experiencing on earth as it is in heaven.
Literally.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's what is so has been so hard to comprehend, because it's always like this whole riddle or this whole something so far-fetched when it's just really you the whole time coming into form of your own self. Nothing ever even mattered about how you looked or how none of that. It was just the avatar that you really chose to come down here and have this experience.
Yep.
It was only a problem, or it was only ugly, or it was only different or weird until when you start comparing it to something else.
Yep. That isn't even supposed to be like you.
It can't be.
It can't be. It can't be you. You can only be you. And whoever likes it, and who doesn't. But see, that's the thing too. Like, that's what you got to be okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, you're not for everybody, and no one's going to always like you. You have to like you. If you don't like you, who cares? Like, no one else matters. And whoever says anything about, oh, well, Melissa used to be this or this one used to be that. Okay. And I'm sorry, every day you wake up, you're a different person. Like, you literally go to bed. Okay. You don't even know if you're going to wake up in the morning. Okay. You get to wake up. You get to experience this life. I don't have time to worry about if you like it.
Right.
I'm just happy I woke up today.
Right.
And hope, God willing, I'll wake up tomorrow. Like, you know, like people don't realize, like, that shit is not guaranteed.
God willing, you wake up here tomorrow. Because it's not, you're not even.
Right. Exactly. Well, that's a whole nother podcast, girl. Yeah. That's a whole nother, because that's, that we should talk about. That's a huge one. That's a huge one. Because that's so freeing. Like, that is so freeing. That's a whole podcast. Mm-hmm. That is a whole podcast. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Well, this was like beautiful. And I know we said we weren't going to stay on long, but here we are.
Because you can't help it.
We can't.
It is
because it is. And it's beautiful that we can even build like this. I love it. Yep. But we want to thank everybody that came and hung out with us tonight.
Thank you.
And okay, so I just want to put this out there because Tangenique's birthday is on Sunday, right? Sunday's the 11th?
Yes.
Okay, so her birthday is on Sunday. Mm-hmm. On Sunday, we're dropping her beautiful, 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 beautiful creation in a line of sweatshirts. I don't even know if you guys are ready. I'm going to show you the picture because I'm pretty sure I have it pretty close in my phone to show you. But this is going to, oh, here it is. So this is going to be on the front of a sweatshirt. And it's going to come in all different colors.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just
Source.
my girl. My girl.
Thank you.
So beautiful. And her art, beautiful. She does hair like a whole, I've never felt like such a snack before, Tangerine. I can't even tell you. I can't even, I love my hair so much.
It's so you though. It looks great on you.
I love that you did it for me because I'm like, let's see what my bestie did. You like it? I love it. Yeah. So, you know, I'm going to find a way to put it on. I'm going to see if I could put it like in the link when I upload the podcast episode. And I'm going to put it on Facebook and YouTube in the comment section, like your website. So if people want to order the shirt, because the shirt is going to be fire. Yeah. And then once we get the merchandise up and running for the podcast, like we got the merch. Yeah. We had the shirts on last week, but we're going to get that up and running. It's been a crazy week. And now that retrograde is here and full moon is here and we're about to be rolling shit out left and right, you guys, you're going to be like, what are these girls doing now? Oh my God. So you're going to be in for a treat. We got a lot of good stuff coming up. So we love you guys and thank you for hanging out with us. And we will see you next Thursday. And I'm not really sure what we're going to talk about, but maybe even what we said before. Maybe like reincarnation, death, rebirth, all that's goodies. So we love you guys. Have a great week and we will see you next Thursday. Bye.